Out west, Central American migrants in Tijuana are growing desperate tonight as living conditions worsen for them. Some are even packing up their belongings and heading home. Our border reporter Oscar Margain has an update.
In today's border brief, the migrant caravan. 6,062 is the approximate number of migrants currently camping out just south of the U.S.-Mexico border in Tijuana, with a few hundred more expected to arrive this week. That's counting caravans 1, 2, and 3, with other migrants dispersed throughout Mexico that have fallen behind. According to officials, more than 1,900 members of the caravans have been deported from Mexico voluntarily since October 19th. 98 were forcibly deported after Sunday's clash with federal agents in Tijuana. That's your border brief. I'm Oscar Margain reporting.